what is the draw ultimately to make me get up and go, I can't wait to work on another.
Tom Hardy once said, "I was out of control before seeking help for his addictions. Now he's in control of one of cinema's most uncontrollable characters." How did the man who struggled with his own demons become the perfect host for Venom? Welcome, Hero Junkies. In today's video, we discuss how Tom Hardy has been consumed by darkness. Born in 1977 in London, Tom Hardy's early years were marked by a volatile personality and a risky dance with drugs. Like a lot of young actors, Hardy got caught up in a vortex of excess. He struggled with drug and alcohol abuse that could have derailed his promising career before it even started. In the early 2000s, Hardy was at the height of his out-of-control phase. It was like the actor's life was going downhill, just like the symbiote he would play on screen. Hardy didn't make the important choice to go to rehab until 2003, which set the stage for a remarkable change. Hardy's path from chaos to order would be important in his future roles. He had no idea that his personal problems were training him for a role that would push the limits of his acting skills and connect with people all over the world. It was 2003 when Hardy came out of rehab and found himself in a tough spot. In 2004, he got a divorce from Sarah Ward after a marriage that began in 1999 but fell apart because of his drug use. But his career was rising like a phoenix from the ashes of his personal life. After Hardy got out of rehab, his performances had a raw intensity that captivated both audiences and directors. It was like his problems had opened a source of feelings for him that he could use whenever he wanted. Quote, "Experience lets you know when something is right or wrong and how to act on it," Hardy once said, implying that his past shaped his work. But the actor's mood swings didn't go away completely, it just found new places to go. He got into a famous fight with co-star Shia LaBeouf on the set of Lawless in 2012. This showed Hardy's impulsive side. Even though it was upsetting, the event showed how Hardy could channel his anger into his roles. This duality in Hardy's personality, the recovering addict and the wild, unpredictable force of nature, began to show up in the roles he played on TV and in movies. This was most clear in the way he played Venom, a part that seemed perfect for an actor who knows a lot about inner turmoil. Venom is an alien symbiote that bonds with Eddie Brock, a reporter. Venom is a creature of chaos and contradiction. The Force can be both destructive and protective. It's a monster with a sick sense of humor. A lot like addiction in a lot of ways.
Because you're just a parasite.
Parasite?
It's a strong thing that can take over its host. Hardy brought a lot of himself into the role. He didn't just play Eddie Brock and Venom as two different people. He became the fight between them.
You're destroying my life. Do you know how lucky you are?
The push and pull, the dark humor, and the constant fight for power were all things that Hardy could relate to from his own life. While giving interviews, he often talks about Venom with a mix of love and irritation, like how someone might talk about a brother.
I really wanted to, and they made that happen for me. And for Venom.
We can see that the character connected with him and let him explore parts of himself that he normally would have kept in check. Many characters have grown because of Hardy's complicated past, not just Venom. His role as the violent prisoner Charles Bronson in Bronson was also filled with anger that he could barely hold back.
Shut your fucking mouth! Shut the fuck up, you cunt!
The way he played twin gangsters Reggie and Ronnie Cray in Legend showed how well he could show inner conflict from the outside. Even his role as Max Rokitansky in Mad Max Fury Road had echoes of his own life. Hardy was so attached to the character that he named his dog after him years before he got the part. Max is a man who's troubled by his past and trying to make things right in a crazy world. He has turned his biggest weakness into his greatest strength through these roles. The things that happened to him that could have ruined his life and career are now what make his most compelling performances possible. Just think about how Hardy prepared for the movie Bronson. The actor put on an amazing 42 pounds to play the notorious criminal Charles Bronson. But it wasn't just about getting bigger. He told his story. For Bronson, I just ate chocolate and pizza, lifted, my friend, nut up and down the stairs, played Xbox, shaved my head, and grew a mustache. This approach, which seems random, actually shows how much Hardy wants his characters to be like real people, both mentally and physically. He is very dedicated to his work, which has made him known as a difficult person to work with on set. He knows this is what people think because he said, "There's this silly myth going around about me, usually spread by people who haven't worked with me." But Hardy is able to give characters like Bane in The Dark Knight Rises so much depth because of how intense he is. With a mask that covered most of his face, Hardy had to play a character with a lot of inner conflict as Bane. For this part, Hardy had to show a lot of different emotions, mostly through his eyes and body language, which he did with his usual intensity. He definitely became better at playing both Eddie Brock and Venom after this experience. When Hardy worked on Venom, he was intense and surprisingly fun at the same time. He got ideas from a strange place, the cartoon Ren and Stimpy from the 1990s. Hardy said, "You know, it's kind of like Ren and Stimpy. They sound different. I've always thought that Venom sounded like a James Brown lounge lizard and Eddie Brock is just a normal guy." Hardy was able to show Brock and Venom's relationship in a way that was both scary and funny at the same time by using this unique point of view. The actor doesn't just play Brock and Venom as two different people, he also brings the fight between them to life. One critic said, "Tom Hardy has given us an interesting and not so straightforward character to munch on." His struggles with addiction and anger in the past don't make his characters who they are, but they do shape them in a powerful way. When we watch Hardy on TV or in movies, we're not just seeing a man playing a part, we're seeing a man who knows deeply about how complicated people are. Because he understands this, Hardy can give even the most ridiculous characters depth. He makes the relationship between Brock and the alien symbiote in Venom seem almost real. The push and pull between the host and the parasite is like the struggle we all have inside, only bigger. His journey from chaos to order is not just a plot point in one of his movies, it's his whole life. Hardy was at a crossroads after years of struggling with addiction and bad habits that hurt himself. His marriage to Sarah Ward was over, and his job was very close to being over as well. But Hardy made a choice that would change everything during this time of trouble. He went to rehab in 2003, but he didn't fully understand how it would change his life. He first thought, "I'll do it for a while until I can drink and everyone will forgive me." But he had an epiphany as he listened to people who had been through the same thing. He said, "I realized I did have a problem." This moment of clarity was the start of his long-term recovery and change as a person. His way to stability wasn't a straight line. Instead, it was a series of steps forward and falls along the way. But his determination to change didn't change. Hardy married actress Charlotte Riley in 2014, which was a big change in his personal life. They have a family together and had 2 sons in 2015 and 2018. This emphasis on family has had a big effect on Hardy's life and career choices. The actor, who used to be known for his crazy stunts and mood swings, now makes choices with his kids in mind. This is very different from his younger years, but Hardy seems to fully embrace it. He has changed, but that doesn't mean he's forgotten about his rougher side. He's even found a way to put that energy into his work while keeping his personal life in check. The way he treats the character of Venom might be the best example of this duality.
I am Venom.
Hardy's portrayal of Eddie Brock and his symbiote alter ego Venom gives him a unique way to explore the idea of inner struggle. The push and pull between Brock and Venom is a lot like Hardy's own struggles with addiction and getting better. He seems to be able to get rid of his demons on screen while keeping them away in real life. This balance shows up in other parts of Hardy's life too. Take his dog, who was with him on the set for Mad Max. It's a fun nod to the serious characters he plays on screen. Not only has Hardy's change helped him personally, it has also made his work better. Being addicted to drugs and getting clean has given him a lot of strong emotions that he can use in his performances. He can add nuance and depth to characters because of his life journey. But Hardy's newfound stability may have been the most important change in his life. When the actor was younger, he liked chaos. Now he finds strength in routine and family life. That doesn't mean he's lost his edge, it just means the darkness is buried underneath. In an interview, he talked about a personal reason for taking on the role. "My son is a huge Venom fan, and he was a big reason why I should play Venom in particular.
My son's love of Venom and how cool he was, I got really excited and decided that I really wanted to do it.
I wish to make something that my son could see." His desire to make something for his child shows who he is now. There are a lot of similarities between Hardy's journey and Eddie Brock's battle with Venom. Brock is fighting the alien symbiote who wants to just take over, just like Hardy fought his inner demons when he was addicted. His own experience with addiction and recovery gives him a unique understanding of Brock's personality. This lets him show Brock's inner conflict in a way that is honest and real, which connects with viewers. Hardy's performance in Venom has been praised for giving Eddie Brock, a character who isn't naturally likable, more depth. His acting skills are shown by how well he can make us feel sorry for Brock, even though he has flaws. He doesn't just play Brock and Venom as separate characters. He also lives the conflict between them, making it so the two characters affect each other. The actor's skill at finding the right balance between serious and funny parts in his performance fits Venom's dark and funny tone perfectly. Not only does Hardy play the character's intensity well, but he also brings out the ridiculousness of the situation, which keeps the movie from getting too dark. Hardy's body was also a big reason why he was chosen to play Eddie Brock. With his strong build, the character already looks like a scary presence, even before he turns into Venom. Hardy often goes through dramatic changes in order to fully embody his characters, and this physical dedication to the role is typical of how he acts. The way Brock and Venom interact shows how good Hardy is at playing two different characters at once. He got better at this in roles like the Cray twins in Legend. His experience playing characters with many sides makes it easier for him to play Brock and his relationship with the symbiote, which are both very complicated. Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy in Venom, is a great example of how to show inner conflict. The actor doesn't just play Brock and Venom as two separate people, he also brings the fight between them to life. People connect with this performance because it draws on Hardy's own experiences with duality and inner turmoil. One critic said, "Tom Hardy has given us interesting and not so straightforward character to munch on." Hardy isn't just reprising his role as Eddie Brock. He's also taken on co-writing duties, further deepening his connection to the character. His portrayal of the tension between Eddie and Venom is key, with Hardy stating, "It's through this tension that the anti-hero emerges." This personal investment is evident, with Hardy explaining that his son's love for Venom inspired him to take on the role. His evolving relationship with the character may lead to storylines exploring family dynamics and personal growth. As Hardy continues to grow professionally and personally, fans can expect deeper emotional layers in his performances. With the franchise set to conclude in fall of 2024, Hardy's creative input could push the storyline in unexpected directions, culminating in a powerful conclusion. His journey from troubled youth to acclaimed actor is reflected in his portrayal of Eddie Brock, adding new dimensions to the character's struggle. Hardy's own struggles with addiction and redemption have shaped his portrayal of Venom's duality. His raw, authentic performances resonate with audiences, making him a major reason to watch the films. Hardy's openness about his past has allowed him to turn personal challenges into creative triumphs, cementing his legacy in cinema as an actor who channels life's difficulties into artistic success. For more on actors channeling real-life struggles into iconic roles, watch our video, Joaquin Phoenix is the real-life Joker. We talk about that in the video here.